All right, what is going on, guys? B-Rad Jr. here. Doing a little bit of a home workout today. Back home for a little bit, so gonna be doing that. I'm gonna start off here with some dips. This is just a good general body weight exercise. I haven't done these in a little bit, but lately I've been hitting triceps twice a week. So looking pretty tough, but triceps are 2/3 of your arm, so it's even more important to hit triceps than biceps. So here, all right, it's gonna be, I just do a lot of dips, so just body weight is like easy for me. I'll typically wear like a belt, or I'll just throw like a 25-pound weight in my groin and just hold it. But I've been prioritizing my form on dips lately, so when you have your back like this and you go down like this and go up, it's gonna work kind of more of the front delt. So what you want to do if you're doing dips to do kind of a triceps chest workout, you want to hold it out here. So you want to have your elbows out, so that way elbows out, up, out, up. That way it really works your triceps as well as your chest. All right, so just finished up the dips there. I just did 3 sets of them. Typically I'll do 2 to 3 sets of weighted dips, and I'll do them anywhere from 8 to 12 reps till failure. I find that just to be the most effective way, how I've seen the most growth in the triceps. But today I'm kind of taking it a little bit easier. Generally 3 days a week I typically take Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays as just kind of days where either I just don't go to the gym, or I will do just kind of light stuff. It's more of just kind of getting the blood flowing, not really tearing stuff up too much. This week I definitely overworked myself. It's been kind of a trending thing lately where during the beginning of the week I'm just feeling super strong from taking a rest day or two, and I just go into it and I just push way too much. And that's kind of why the reason that I look the way I look, just because I push myself so hard in the gym. That's the only way that you're gonna get the results. But I'm at the point now, I don't know if I think I'm just fucking crazy mentally, but where I just keep pushing and pushing, and I'm almost getting too extreme into it. I'm at the point where I almost need to be taking steroids if I'm going to be pushing myself this much, which of course I'm not going to do, because I definitely value my body more than I do the result of steroids. But it would be cool. Like I said, I'm not going to try it, but I can see why a lot of these influencers are taking these steroids, because it just increases your recovery time so much faster. You don't have to take any rest days. I mean, you probably should in general, but I mean, realistically, if you were on steroids, you wouldn't really have to take much from rest days because your body would be recovering so quick. But for me, just because with some, when I push myself too hard, I can feel it in my intestines. I just kind of feel in my core. Almost hurts a little bit, if I push too hard. So I'm definitely gonna take, today, tomorrow, and probably Sunday to recover. If I do go to the gym, I'll just be doing kind of light stuff like I am now. So I'm gonna move on to a few pull-ups now. Pull-ups. So I did 3 different variations, wide grip, mid, and then just underhand here. You know, typically I'll do 3 sets of each. You know, it's really rare that you see like a pull-up bar that has this type of grip on it. Usually it's all just straight. Or I've seen other variations too, but you know, it's all gonna kind of do the same thing, but yet also work, you know, some different back muscles as well. So make sure to be doing those pull-ups. You know, pull-ups can be a hard thing to get into, especially if you're kind of new to lifting, just because, you know, it's body weight, and most humans can't even do 1 pull-up. And if they can do a pull-up, they can barely do any pull-ups. So it's all about just kind of easing into it. I know at a lot of gyms they have assisted dip or pull-up bars. You know, those are a good way to strengthen yourself, so eventually you can do body weight, and then eventually you can add extra weights to your body weight for those pull-ups to get stronger. But you know, there's a lot of other back exercises and you know, stuff like that that you don't need to be doing pull-ups, but I just recently got back into pull-ups. It's something it's fun to see yourself progressing, and you just look like a boss at the gym too when you're doing them. You know, I don't see a lot of people doing pull-ups at the gym generally, so you know, kind of cool to be doing that. It's kind of hard to find these at gyms, like this type of pec deck. A lot of them are like the type where you just pull out and you hold the handles. This one you actually gotta, it's a little different. I kind of like it. This is kind of what I started on. You know, a chest. I built my chest quite a bit with just this machine, as well as a lot of bench press. But you know, this here, I get real light on, but you know, if you just do this and then you hold it here, see it really contracts the pec muscle, and especially when you hold it, because it pumps all the blood to that. And so a lot of these exercises, kind of the types of, you know, I don't know exactly what to call it. You know, there's the chest exercises where you push, and then there's the ones where you stretch and squeeze. And those I find to be very useful in building a chest, because obviously you need the pushing part of it, but then, you know, you also need the squeezing part. Really helps, because the whole point of the chest is to be able to push things, whether it's like this, whether it's like this. So that's where the tricep comes in as well. That's why you kind of generally you'll do it's pretty common to do like chest and tricep days. So, and that's typically what I do, is whenever I do chest, I will hit triceps as well. I just find that to be a good split. And then lately I've been doing a whole nother just tricep day where I just isolate the triceps and just do those exercises to build that. I find that to be useful, and it just looks sick when you got massive defined triceps. Front delts, that it's really gonna build those, and you really don't need like super heavy dumbbells to do it, especially as a beginner. You'll find that you'll get a lot of results just from using, you know, probably like depending on how strong you are, but you know, for me, when I started, I was just using 15-pound dumbbells. You know, a lot of things you can just do with 15-pound dumbbells, especially when you're a beginner. You know, one of the things I started with is, you know, these same 15-pound dumbbells. They were my dad's. I don't even know when he got them. You know, I think he's had them for decades. And, you know, I started doing curls, and I started doing shoulder stuff before I even knew what I was doing. But anyway, exercise that I still commonly do is I'll usually do them seated, but just to take, you know, dumbbells and up and then back down like this. So this is really gonna work your front delt here. And that front delt is what's going to kind of give you that more rounded bolder shoulder look. You know, you have your front delt, you have your side delt, and you have your back delt. And you might have a top delt, I don't know. I haven't done like all of I'm not like a certified trainer or anything, but this is just from my basic knowledge. So, you know, you have the front delt. You know, I have pretty aesthetic shoulders, so you can kind of see it right here, and then the side delt here, back delt here. I need to start working more of my back delt. Those type of exercises, you know, you can use the type of, the pec machine where you go like this at the gym, and usually there'll be an adjustment. So you can adjust it, sit the other way. And so you'll have the handles here, and you'll go out. And so that here, when you go out, it's gonna build this. So, you know, when somebody sees you from behind you, you know, and they kind of are able to see that part of your shoulder, you know, stands out. It makes your back look a lot bigger. So that's something that I'm working on. You know, have really worked hard on the side delts and the front delts. You know, the front delts are gonna give you the front look. Side delts, obviously the side look. You know, seeing the kind of feathered look here with the bicep. A lot of that has to do with your tricep too. And I have pretty good insertions when it comes to shoulders and triceps, and then a longer bicep. So that's why mine arm looks the way it does, but also, you know, I've put in, you know, an absolute insane amount of work. You know, so it's a combination of having good genetics and also working your ass off. But, you know, after you want to work the front delt, and that's what's gonna give you that. But the side delt, a good exercise that I've used for that has been side raises. So, you know, I'll typically just bend over just a little bit, arch the back, and I will feet straight, go out like this, and I'll do those typically till failure. I use 25-pound dumbbells for that. And that's just, I find a way to be, you know, a really good way to just gas the shoulders. And also that's what's gonna give you kind of the feather look in your arm, which is, you know, when it comes to aesthetics, is necessary if that's what you're going for. But if you're just, you know, if your goal is to just get stronger, you know, it's gonna do that too. It's gonna make you stronger. But I started really specializing in shoulders about, 15 months ago, last summer, because, you know, I was about the same weight that I am now. I'm 170 pounds, trying to get to 190 eventually, but I was about the same. My body fat percentage was higher though, and, you know, I just wasn't working as hard in the gym. And I heard something on YouTube about how if you work your shoulders more, your whole physique is gonna look bigger. So I really, you know, I have decent arms, but my arms are really not that big. And it's the shoulders that makes them up here to be bigger. You know, my chest, I have decent chest and decent chest genetics. So, you know, it just adds on to that. So it's like, if you're gonna focus on something, you know, if you're new to lifting, or even if you have been lifting for a while and want to, you know, kind of increase, you know, if you're going for aesthetics, then I would say to definitely specialize in the shoulders. Sometimes I'll find myself, you know, about to do legs, and then I'll, you know, accidentally fall into the bench press. And, you know, as you can tell, I don't have, you know, the best legs. My legs I've seen been improving though lately. You know, I've been working them about twice a week, and when I do hit legs, it's you know, very intense, you know, very high intensity. So that's been, you know, a good way that I've seen a lot of progress with legs. Something that I just started doing though, is just doing basic lunges. I'll typically do like 60s when I do them. But you just go, this is a really good setup to do lunges, but at the gym I go to, there's about a 20-foot by 10-foot turf area. So that's where I'll go, and I'll do 10 there, 10 back, and that's how I'll end the leg day. It's kind of annoying because this is just random. I don't know, my sister uses this gym, and I don't think she's deadlifting. She's got the, whatever this is, the pad. One of those exercises where you sit back here and you like fuck the dumbbell or whatever, and I don't know what it's for. They have like machines and stuff right at the gym. You always see people doing that, like the thrusting movement, which is probably good for abs and glutes, but as a guy, this is my target audience is men, obviously, and I mean there's probably some girls watching, but if that's working for you, keep doing it, whatever this is called. But for the guys, you want to have a nice butt, but I would say more focus on the quads and the hamstrings. I mean, if you see guys with really built bums, and it's cool, they're usually pretty strong guys, but I don't know, when you got too much cake back there as a guy, I think that's a little bit gay, but that's just my opinion. One of the things that I started with, like I mentioned earlier in the video, started with these dumbbells. Just 15-pound dumbbells is all you need. When you're trying to get stronger though, you want to focus on increasing your weight and then increasing or decreasing the reps. So at first when I started, I was the same height that I am now, so I was 6 feet, but I was 130-ish pounds. So for 6 feet, that's pretty skinny. Generally I have a little bit more of a thinner build, which makes it harder to put on muscle, but it's still, you still look lean. So there's the trade-offs with each side. It's easier to stay lean, but it's harder to build muscle. But anyway, I would just do basic like curls, and I would just do dozens of curls, and what I wish I would have knew is to use higher weight. But if your goal is to just kind of, get a little stronger, lean out a little bit, not lean out, but like, make your arms look a little bit more defined, then this is all you really need. Doing like, a few dozen reps of these is gonna do all you need it to do. But I started doing with these, I would do 25s with these. Now I would probably do 30, 35s. This way it's kind of like a preacher curl, but you're using your own body to support it. Obviously do the same with the other arm. And yeah, that's gonna, basically kind of build the main part of your bicep. Another part you're gonna wanna do is hammer curls. So, I usually don't do them like this, but this would probably work. Do them like this. I usually kind of sit down, do curls like this, where I make sure to get a good hammer curl variety in, because it expands the width of your arm here. So, curls are gonna make this part bigger. Well, not this part, this is your tricep, but they're gonna make this part bigger, where, hammer curls are gonna widen this part, which is really, looks cool when you're filling out t-shirts. And it's just, in general, you look stronger, more aesthetic. you are stronger. I've noticed that my bicep strength has gone up a lot since I started doing the hammer curls. I'll typically use about 35 pound dumbbells when I'm doing hammer curls, and then I'll use 40 to 45 pound dumbbells when I'm just doing normal curls. But a lot of the time I'll do seated curls. I'll just be sitting like this, or I'll set the bench up so that I can rest back a little bit, have a little bit of different placement of the bicep. But that's all you really need for that. So just be doing your dumbbell curls. A lot of the stuff, there's machines for it that are pretty self-explanatory. There's cables, over here that you can just, do that. You want to have a good variety of cables, machines, dumbbells, even like body weight stuff, body weight pull-ups, underarm or underhand narrow grip is going to work that bicep. Not as good as like an actual bicep exercise, but it's still going to work it. So I usually build that into my bicep day, but typically my bicep day is also combined with back. So just doing pull-ups in general is good for your back and bicep. So yeah, just doing a combination of machines, dumbbells, cables, just working those. I started off by doing 5 sets, which is definitely overkill. I would do 5 sets, but I would do it until 8. I do about 8 to 10 to 12 reps, depending on. I really knew nothing about lifting and fitness when I basically started consistently over the COVID era, in like March of the COVID era. So I was a junior in high school. And then I got real serious about consistently lifting by the time I was a senior in high school. But I didn't have the knowledge. It was out there, but I didn't really, I don't know why. I mean, I wish I would have gotten into social media more and looked at what other people were doing. I would look up bicep exercises, but I never knew about how to do the reps, about how to do the weight of the reps. For my specific goal, obviously my goal at the time was to try to gain weight. But when you become new to lifting, I went from 130 pounds back in February of 2020 to 150 pounds by December of 2020. So in 10 months, I gained 20 pounds, which is insane. And if you're getting into lifting, you can most likely do the same thing. Not saying that you're gonna gain 10, 20 pounds in 10 months. And some of that was also probably fat, just because in order to build muscle, you have to also have fat. That's how the muscle is gonna be made, because the heavier you are, the more strength you're gonna need for those muscles. When you're younger, you shouldn't be focusing on the aesthetics part. You should be focusing on putting on that muscle, that strength. Because I was too focused on the aesthetics part, because I had no idea how muscle growth worked. I just thought, I'll lift weights, eat, grow muscles. And it is simple like that, but when you put the variables into of how many reps am I doing, what weight am I doing, and I didn't really even understand it until last December. One of my buddies told me, he's a little bit older than me, but real swole guy, and he said that if your goal is to build muscle, you can't be doing 16 reps, you should be doing 8 reps with higher weight. And then there's just kind of these little things that will hit you about what you're doing. But that's kind of what I want to do, is I want to be able to teach people how to get the best results the fastest, as well as also inspire and motivate people, because now I'm a lot more motivated to be lifting weights for some reason than I was in recent years. Because I have my routine where while I'm lifting weights, I don't know about you guys, but I'll listen to music, I'll drink coffee, not caffeine. I try to do, lower caffeine intake. Just 1 cup of coffee is really all you need before you work out. And that way your tolerance doesn't get messed up either. But yeah, you really only need, not too much caffeine. You don't really even need any caffeine, but I find that just a moderate amount of caffeine really helps get the kind of mental block out of the way, especially if you're lifting in the morning. I find the pros outweigh the cons. So yeah, biceps, baby.